What is good? It is your boy Daye, and we're back at it again with another album reaction review. And today we got IDK with his newest album, You See For Yourself. This is following his Is He Real album back in 2019 that I also reviewed, reacted to, and was pretty much very much impressed with. Just given the theme throughout the album and the sort of I don't know, the storyline that he was drawing out and the message that he was trying to get across. And interestingly enough, this album, You See For Yourself, that was sort of the code or the answer for his prior album, Is He Real? You See For Yourself, because it was also the last letters of each song spelled out, You See For Yourself. So that was it was a very nice album. It was definitely a really like what are those albums, those like sort of thematic albums, like sort of where you follow a storyline trying to figure out I don't know, the answer to the album. But yeah, so here we got You See For Yourself. I don't know if it's going to be in the same lane as Is He Real, because Is He Real was pretty much just really mostly talking about it was deeper than it, but to summarize, just the existence of a higher power. Religion was spoken about a lot, vices was spoken a lot, like just church, spirituality. So that was sort of a referenced the most in that album. And yeah, so I'm excited. I'm very curious to see what we have here. I think I listened to that Young Thug song, amazing, fantastic, PradadaBang. And I'm mostly looking forward to Red, Westside, Gunn, MF Doom, Daye, Electronica. I don't even know what that's gonna sound like. I don't know the producers on here. So without further ado, let's get into it. First song is 301-809-1821. Bro, and shout out IDK. He's one of the first people to acknowledge my channel, like my reviews, all that. He's an amazing person. Sound like somebody running and hit by a car. Hey. All right, next song is Santa Monica Boulevard. All right. I gotta turn this up. Whoa.
Now I'm switching up my energy. Fuck, my niggas ain't in the streets. Y'all niggas is in the street. Y'all niggas fake niggas.
Oh, y'all in the streets, y'all in the streets.
No deal, I like. They playing with all of these niggas and bitches is money, but never mind. Never rhyme. I only spend money on her if I know she the truth is to keep it a buck. You play with me once and you dumb. The shit that I say when like I say, who am I to pretend? Asking the Lord to forgive all my sins with my fingers crossed behind my back with a grand. I sin. Bitch, I feel like a boss. I win. Again and again.
Oh, that cycle?
I don't know who my friends, they like to pretend. The law, I can't remember when I had a job. Back when they wouldn't build, now they bob. I still got paper tags on my car.
Oh my god, back when they wouldn't build, but now they bob. Bob the Builder bar. Come on, bro.
You crabs in a barrel while my lobster is boiling. I'm trying to avoid them, but they keep on coming for me. DMX, what they wanting from me. BMX, I ain't stunting for free. Know that it's true when I speak. Mad at though I ain't running from beef. Mike Tyson, that's on my heart so deep. I replied,
he wants the beef.
Also, there wasn't no love in my home, so only get love when it's coming from me.
Okay. Alright, man. Alright, cool. IDK, I see you. Alright, let's go. That was hard. That was fantastic. That was fantastic. And again, some references. Actually, quite a few references. I'm talking about God asking for forgiveness while having your fingers crossed, grinning, and when he says it, it's like he's acknowledging that it's a problem, that he hates that he does it, but he still does. Nice. And then he says, I sin. And then he says, I feel like a boss. I win and win again and again. So it sort of feels like he's sort of in a cycle as well. And I believe he referenced that in his prior album as well, that it seems like he's sort of in this like endless cycle of repenting, but then falling back, and then, you know, feeling like he's on top of the world, but then falling back down again. It's just constant cycle. But okay, cool. Fire.
Men lie, women lie.
I love albums that transition nice. All right, next song is Dogs Don't Lie.
Hi. Why everybody calling me an asshole? I just gave you the honesty you asked for. Bend that ass, dogs. Just say yes if it's a Maybach. Women spinning wheels about they foul past say jack. Niggas changing who they really are just to slay.
Dog, he sounds so much like Kanye. It's crazy.
Get the fuck up out my way. My business, my business, my business, my business, my business, my business. Hey. I feel the bad reviews coming, these bloggers giving me sixes, my confidence say 100. My fans got my back and they keeping me on track on this railroad to success. Y'all niggas is coming. Pity said I was coming. Say good morning, all my wins say good evening. They was friends until they turned the foe like right from. The reason why some niggas got goals to buy guns. I never look back. Look at how far I've come. New watch saying where's the time gone? The men lie, women lie, dogs don't lie when they fuck a new.
Oh wow! Oh my! Those last 40 seconds of that song, and I'm mad that it just cut off like that. Amazing, fantastic, bro. This okay? All right, next song. I'ma hold my opinion until like we get to the end of the album. But so far, I'm liking it. Next song is Truth.
I'm just a nigga that live in my truth. Focused on money, not focused on you. Right.
Alright, next song is PradadaBang. PradadaBang.
Right before I make all my rounds, I be that hoe with no sound. How you want burgers and shit when you ain't even got a house? We get in one argument, you gon' live in that purse. When I'm kicking you out, I don't fuck with no bro. Get it too live, cool like ass up, face down. Hella diamonds, hella watches, hella rings and drinks.
Alright, next song is Shoot My Shot featuring Offset.
24/7,
I may have heard it like a while back.
I ain't gonna fuck with the clubs. My type, yeah, my type. Like Piggy, if the head right, I'm there all night. Like Easy, when I see it, I'ma hit it on sight. Like Kendrick Lamar, we gon' be off when I do
alright. I like how he's referencing those rappers' tracks.
Nobody likes us fame. I make that bitch bounce. I'm Bank of America. I got Sydney in America. I got Stacey in Maryland. I got plenty of hoes. Don't really make no comparison.
The next song is Red, featuring Westside, Gunn, Electronica, and MF Doom.
Hey yo, bitch, you ain't never been naked on the seashore. Put money on your head, spin the rest up in Dior.
She got her own, but if he say he tryna pay, she like, I ain't saying no. Roses are red, violets are blue. Do you want me for money? He found out when she said I do. Too late, the pussy game too great. The pussy game too great. The pussy game. Ain't got no job.
I can't even lie. This is not what I was expecting. With those features, like that beat. When Westside Gunn was first on, I was like, okay, I can see. I thought like some switch was gonna happen, but no. But I guess it's not bad. But I was definitely having something way different in mind. So it's just funny to see that this is like how the song actually sounds. But yeah, let's hear Jay's verse and MF Doom's verse.
But the mind state is here.
I am noticing that a lot of the content or the topics for these songs, or at least for the last let's see, three, 4 songs, have been about women. So I don't know if that is maybe sort of supposed to reference something, supposed to be a metaphor for something. But yeah, definitely that's sort of, that's what I'm hearing at least.
Yeah, Lamar Odom with the stroke. Girl, you got my dick. You like a Uber when you ride, I might buy your ass up. Roses are red, violets are blue. Doing shows for fans and social media. Wikipedia.
Bro, is that the only?
Every earth little bay need a Halle made sultan to establish a tribe and build masjid.
Man, ain't no way that's the only Did I miss his verse? There's no way that we're just getting those 4 words or like that, those 2-3 sentences. No way. There's no way. There's no way.
Google and Wikipedia, pearls, guitars to swine. You stick with Dr. Fauci, I'm running with Dr. Wesley. I never let the CDC come and finesse me. I never let the fake news from the press distress me, even though the devil would love to Malcolm X me. It's him again, with the 10 skin tone, preaching brimstone until the man...
There go Jay. There go Jay. That's gonna ruffle some feathers. That's gonna ruffle some feathers.
Get everything that was meant for here to be king.
All right, and another thing is that some of these songs have like a word that's said once the song ends. I haven't been keeping track of what word, but I'll definitely will when I go through this album again, because I'm sure that there's a message behind that as well. But I'll have to run that back to see if maybe I'm missed MF Doom's verse. But it seems like it was just like that sort of, because it wasn't a hook. It was like, you know, I think he came on there twice to say it was like a 2-sentence sort of deal, like 3-4 bars. But dang, I was expecting something like off of the Euro Droog album. But nonetheless, cool song. Next song is Jelly.
Here's the thing though, is like I lost my mom, so there's no woman that can ever like do anything to me that's worse than that feeling.
Damn. Hey, again talking about women. Interesting. Next song is Puerto Rico featuring Lucky Daye. I haven't heard much of Lucky Daye, but from what I have heard, he's very talented. Again, talking about a woman.
Ooh, your looks could be deceiving, though I knew ya.
Little R&B track, slow track. I like that. Fire. Next song is Temporary Love featuring Sir.
Looking for a replacement of their father figure when they're in a relationship with a pimp.
What is all this talk?
I think that we're all.
Alright, a little 1-minute song. The next song is 10 Feet featuring T-Pain.
Hey, you said you did. You the type to make a nigga wanna have kids. All them other bitches trash.
Oh.
They throw 'em in the
It's so, I mean, not that I think like he's biting or anything, but man, he like sometimes he sounds exactly like Kanye. It's so funny, and then like his voice blends back into IDK. It's just something I'm noticing. I don't think I noticed it before, but on this album so far, I don't know. Maybe it's just the way his voice sounds now, right? Speaking of, I need a new Kanye album, but that's for another video.
my attention, this shit be lost, right? Better wrap around the edges, yet you still so fine.
Oh, T-Pain killed that. The legend, T-Pain, can't miss, cannot miss. Next song is Keto featuring Swae and Rico Nasty.
That's right. If I hit cash app, bring that, let's go. Green light, creep with it, creep with it, creep with it. Red light, stop. Pop, then off with his top, go off on the op, get lost when he drops, said dead, no alive, so we already got blocked and tail, cause the hood shelf shop.
Very different from the rest of the album.
Really got none. I don't care what you think, cause I ain't never give a fuck.
3, 4, 5.
Interesting song. Next song is 1995.
1995.
If I'm tired and not falling from they fighting, would have thought it was normal. If I didn't watch TV, I'm seeing white people eating with their families happily. Only time we ate together was eating at Applebee's. Parents had so many jobs.
3, 4, 5. If a nigga
So I think this is probably the first song in hot minute where he's not talking about a woman or relationship issues or anything like that. And yeah, he's diving pretty deep into his idea of what I guess parental love was, or his idea and view of family time as a kid, and how cold his household was just due to the lack of of the warmth and affection that he would see on TV. So that is interesting. Interesting.
Son inside of my mama's head. Stepfather ain't coming home, he getting head. Claiming he busy, he on a business trip. But really he with a trick, she sucking. I had to let that sink in, cause when them days came, it affected the way I see men. I had to let that sink in, cause when my mama cried, it affected the way I see revenge. And I ain't even know it, but everything I did was results of how I was growing up and growing nuts and growing balls and going nuts and making calls and hanging up in bitches' faces, running up in people's places. 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5. If a nigga text me, I'ma shoot like Jordan.
Damn.
I'ma shoot like Jordan.
This is definitely the most introspective song that I've heard on this album so far. Yeah, and like I said, he's talking about his family stuff, but he's also tying everything that he saw growing up as a kid, and how that affected him growing up, seeing men, seeing women, his demeanor towards them, relationships, so, and also his aggression. So, well, that's fire. That's fire. Damn. And he's tying it up extremely nice in a way that's very understandable, but also it's very intellectual the way he's breaking it down, like how he grew up and how it affected his present self or his his teen self, whatever stage in life he's talking about.
So,
alright, next song is Peloton.
I used to know, like baby, I done changed. See, I had some time to grow. No, what's the reply?
Andre reference.
Like you don't need nobody that's gonna follow by your side. You fucking with the realest guy, hands on the knees when I'm giving her the business. Just to feel good, ink, girl, you moving with gorillas, ayy. Full stop. Emotional intelligence now. Playing just like check her.
It's crazy that the hook is IDK singing.
All she says he next.
I would not have thought so. Alright, next song is Hey Auntie featuring Slick Rick. Also would have never expected that to see Slick Rick on a 2021 album.
I had the opportunity to experience it.
Kind of crazy, very crazy actually.
What would it be like?
But yeah, big up Slick Rick.
Probably something. Lunchables, the flex, I fist pump like yes. Sunny D got me looking like I'm saying cheese. A smile is all they want from me. They don't really care what I become or be as long as I live happily while living comfortably. No hanging with thugs or living reckless. This feeling and now I'm feeling neglected. Wishing we got the bond, but instead I got molested. A message, maybe being hurt so much will send a couple blessings. Maybe I can learn from all the pain and get a lesson. I hope that all this pain will start the lesson. I've been holding the man saying how he feel, make him feel like Mulan, a bitch in a man's clothes. Guess that's what I stand for. Broken toys, artificial joy. Don't blow Auntie.
Damn, that is a heavy song. I feel like a pit in my stomach, bro.
Outside, 7 years old, wants to know me like nothing to a Steve. Loves me.
Got a quick little Slick Rick verse, but wow. I think towards the back of the album we're getting into more of the heavier songs, sort of like a reveal behind the curtains. Or behind the scenes, but next song is Cry in Church featuring Sevyn Streeter.
I really had, I just can't do it on my own. I really be good inside and living happy on the outside. I was in JK, no lace front. This truth, no fake hair.
No fake hair, fire.
In this heart of mine, there's one more thing on my mind. Just maybe a couple of lullabies was all that I needed to fight all the demons. My spirit is beating, let's pray.
Father God, I am just learning how to pray. Bear with me.
He mentioned lullabies,
from everyone that's here with me.
and I'm sure in one of those songs, like when somebody was talking, I think it was like Truth or something, like a lullaby was playing in the background, like a lullaby melody. I had noticed that too. But yeah, this is like the heavy part of the
Thank
album.
you for the love you give me. Your name out loud.
Oh, and DMX again?
Wouldn't call you when I was doing good. Too proud.
Yeah.
And still you gave
That song is Closer.
I think with that, maybe I would have treated women a little bit better. Maybe I would have had a little bit more trust for other people. Maybe I wouldn't feel the need to use my success as armor. And I want you to understand that. Love you, Mom. Okay, bye.
Love me too.
When you are finished recording, please press 1 or hang up.
And that concludes IDK's You See For Yourself album. And with that last song, that pretty much ties up the entire album together. He was saying that he had been like running away from this conversation or phone call, and in the first song you have a phone number as the song title, and you can hear him running somehow, like just like first I think it's like a dial tone or something, and then you hear him running, so he's been like running away from it. And so at the end of the album, and it's towards the back half of the album, where he starts acknowledging where all of his like sort of, I don't know, his view towards, you know, women, towards relationship is coming from. He starts dissecting issues that he had with his mom, which is pretty crazy because his mom did pass away, and that was like a focal point in a lot of his songs so far. But he still recognizes, like, okay, yeah, although like he does miss her and he still like loves her, that like there were faults that happened that he himself has to acknowledge, like in a personal way, where he's like sort of talking to his mom. So yeah, that, because I was so confused. The first half of the album is, I swear, like almost just only talking about kind of just women. I mean, and not even necessarily in a bad way, but also in a way that's like where he doesn't trust them, like she's out to get my money type stuff. And it was just confusing to hear, because it was, you know, I mean, he would go at it at different angles, but the message was essentially the same, like at the end of the day. But then towards the later half, like I'm gonna say the last 4 songs, he switched it up completely, talking about how he was, I guess, learning, I don't know, the essence of relationships, with how his stepdad treated his mom, how his mom reacted, how his stepdad treated him, what he did to him, how his stepmom, or how his mom treated him. So a bunch of stuff tying in together, and like it's literally, like I said, like kind of revealing behind the scenes, this is why I am the way I am, and like I have to acknowledge it first before, you know, I try to break it down or work on it. So yeah, with that in conclusion, that's what I was expecting. I was definitely thinking like there's definitely going to be a sort of theme in the album, because just with how much effort he put in the last one, I knew that he wasn't just gonna let that slide. And the fact that he titled this album "You See For Yourself," which is also kind of tying back to the last album, it all makes sense. It all makes sense together. But yeah, I'll have to listen back. I'm sure that there are a lot of clues, a lot of hints throughout the album that you know, IDK dropped in there for the listener to listen back on and try to figure out. Like that one thing that I was talking about, where a word is said right after a song ends, and it's like just the word. I'm pretty sure that spells out some sort of message. But yeah, I'll be doing that on my own time. For now, that's the review, that's the reaction. Thank y'all for tuning in. It's been your boy Chimmy. Peace.